Everybody, please rise. Announcing the arrival of Professor Dr. Nur Saadah Abdul Rahman, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research and Innovation UC Malaya, who will chair this morning lecture, and Professor Dr. Ainin Sulaiman from the Department of Operation and Information Management System, Faculty of Business and Accountancy, UC Malaya. Negaraku and UM Song. Thank you. Please be seated. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good morning. Professor Dr. Nur Saadah Abdul Rahman, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research and Innovation UM, Professor Dr. Cik Rohana Issa, the Dean, Faculty of Business and Accountancy, His Excellencies, Tan Sris, Datuk-Datuk, distinguished guests, Professor Dr. Ainin Sulaiman, Management of the Faculty of Business and Accountancy, UC Malaya, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the inaugural lecture by Professor Dr. Ainin Sulaiman entitled Social Network Sites, Innovating Lifestyle. Without further delay, I would like to invite Yang Berbahagia Professor Dr. Nur Saadah Abdul Rahman to chair the lecture and introduce Professor Dr. Ainin Sulaiman.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning, Datuk-Datuk, Datin-Datin, uh, ladies and gentlemen, and especially Professor Ainin Sulaiman. This morning, we are here to celebrate the achievement of Professor Ainin Sulaiman through her professorial inaugural lecture. So let me just introduce Professor Ainin to you. Professor Ainin Sulaiman Professor Ainin Sulaiman's life as an academic began in December 1995 after obtaining her PhD from the University of Birmingham in United Kingdom. From there, she has been actively conducting research and consultancy, publishing articles in index journals, reviewing articles for conferences and journals, becoming external assessors to other universities and teaching academic courses. She's also taught in various courses related to information systems and research methodology at the undergraduate, master's, as well as the PhD or doctoral level. Dr. Ainin is recognized by the Malaysian academic community and has been appointed as external assessor for promotion by various institutions of higher learnings. She served as one of the MQA expert panel for the development of business studies program standard, and also has been appointed as PhD externals for many universities such as UTM, UPM, UUM, University Tenaga Nasional, Multimedia University, University of Adelaide, Queensland University of Technology, to name but a few. She's also the Business Studies External Assessor for Institute of Technology Brunei. And Professor Ainin is also a regular reviewer for journals such as the Computer Human Behavioral, Computer and Education, Business Process Management, Information Development, Journal of Global IT Management, Management Decision, and many others. In addition, she has served, or she is also still currently serving as the editorial board member of the Asian Journal of Case Research. Her current interests includes a World IT project which is in collaboration with the Global IT Management Association under the High Impact Research Grant, as well as Social Network Program under the Equitable Society Research Cluster. And she has published several Tier 1 journals such as the Information and Management and Government Information Quarterly, and hope to continue publishing until she retires. Professor Ainin now serves as the head of operation and MIS department at the Faculty of Business and Accountancy, and she's also the faculty head accreditation as well as the co-chief editor of the Faculty's Asian Journal of Business and Accounting. I think we are all looking forward to her talk today, entitled Social Network Site Innovating Lifestyles, and I will not go much further and let you listen to her inaugural lecture. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Nosada. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning to Prof. Dr. Nosada, to Prof. Cik Rohana Isa, the Dean of the Faculty, ladies and gentlemen, students. First of all, I take this opportunity to thank you all for actually being here and listening to me. Some of the students maybe already had enough. He's smiling, Sabrun is smiling. He has enough of my voice in class. Okay, what I'm going to do today is to talk about the social network sites, innovating lifestyles. Now, this lecture is actually a compilation of my previous work that has been published and also that has not been published yet. So what I have done is to compile them and to make it into a lecture for today. So what I'll do is I will just introduce to you what is social network sites. And my emphasis is actually on the usage as well as the impact. The usage and impact on two perspectives, which are the individuals as well as organizations. So just to briefly tell you what is social network sites, I'm sure you're familiar with social media. Now, social media is the bigger or the general one. Then under social media, one of it is the social network sites. So it is actually a web-based service that allows you to set up profile within a bounded system, and you share connections, and most of all, you actually can view, right, your ideas with the list of connections that is within your system, right? So nowadays, there are millions of people that have integrated SNN into their daily lives, including you, students, us lecturers, and members of the public. We use a lot of it to study. Okay, that may be, you can actually question that, whether you actually use the SNN for studies, for work, for politics, civic engagement, and mostly it's for communication. So the way that we get information now differs. We readily, easily can get information on life, okay, how to go about having a healthy lifestyle. We also talk in terms of politics. Sometimes my children goes into that to see, what a teenage life is supposed to be, and they would tell me, Mama, look, as a teenage, the Facebook says I'm supposed to do this. Parenting, and also for you, some of you, in terms of dating, what you do, the do and don'ts, perhaps. But most of all is in terms of well-being. I have come across sites that actually tells me how to reduce my level of stress, okay? So what I'm saying, it is innovating lifestyles. What we or how we live 10 years ago is different from how we live now. So it has grown in terms of usage. Thank you, Prof. Wan. He is one of my mentor in my academic life. So thank you for coming, Prof. A study of 26 countries actually says that 50% of their respondents use 5 types of social network sites, and they use it all at the same time. So they use Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. I think for most of us in Malaysia, it also is multiple usage, perhaps Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I think we use that interchangeably almost every day in our life. Okay, so in Malaysia, and also Facebook is the most popular application by students, and younger students like you all report higher usage of YouTube, whereas older ones actually use more LinkedIn. This is maybe because the older ones are looking for jobs or change of jobs. So Malaysia, right, is among the top 5 countries in terms of SNN accounts. We are also the second highest users of Facebook, statistically, yeah? Now, one of the reasons perhaps is because of the ease of internet connection, particularly in the urban areas around Malaysia, and perhaps we have to thank MCMC for actually putting down all the broadbands and so on. Now, the question that arises here is why one of the reasons that motivated me to actually do research on SNN is that I'm wondering why people go to these sites and what would people actually get from them. There are other questions such as what motivates people to use them, okay, and what are behaviors that can come out. So, but for this lecture, I'm just going to describe the usage of SNN as well as its impact. Okay, so what is SNN? We actually just now defined what it is, but it is a user-generated content. It is based on the, it is a product of internet-based applications, right? It is found to be more effective than traditional communications, especially influencing our attitudes and behavior. Now, I'm sure I mean, you are all aware or have used SNN before. We realize that it is actually based around profiles, especially normally individual profiles, right? So we can create text, images, videos by us. So this is where it says its user content is built by the member. Okay, as the profile actually will contain comments from friends, from members, right? It is actually a public list in a way, although you may say that it is private, but it is in a way a public list of people that you have subscribed within the network, which we call, the terms here is friends. 10 years ago, friends mean different. Friends are the ones that we have relationship with, all right? Physical, we meet and so on, right? But here, this is where SNN has created a new lifestyle, a new term, where friends may be anybody that we like within the boundary of the community. So it allows us to share information, videos, pictures, all right, communicate, but most important is actually chatting with other users. Most of the time, we are not communicating anything urgent, anything serious. So I would say that it's more of chatting among friends. So we can post messages. We can also allow individuals within our group to interact with each other. So basically, connections between individuals are made, all right? Although at the beginning, we are not actually, our aim of using the social network sites were not to make conversations, but in the end, right, we will be creating relationships. Okay, so this is where we say that at times, if you look, some people say SNN will allow you to meet new people. Now, it's not necessarily so, because basically sometimes we are extending our what you call traditional or methods, and we are communicating with them via the media. Okay, so just like an example, okay, we are uploading, we get a lot of this, my children likes to do this also, images of friends enjoying meals or drink, holidays, they show pictures, they are at the seaside, all right, or funny cartoons, all right, video tube clips and so on. So it is actually changing the way we interact with each other. Now, I actually divided the usage in terms of individuals as well as organizations. So for individuals, there are two main reasons: maintaining relationship and also civic engagement. There are other usage of the social media, for example, learning and so on. But for this lecture, we are actually focusing on two. So imagine this, you have a birthday or your son's birthday or your friend's birthday, you post it up, right? So normally we will always post positive status updates. Now, and this is relationship maintenance. So we tend to create stronger bonds, so we are actually maintaining our social relationship, okay? It gives us an opportunity to establish and maintain relationship with peers, can develop further interactions, for example, for learning, for information seeking. Now, for students, I have seen students pose sample questions and then on a certain topic and expect some feedback. Some also even share homework, right? I have seen students, this is the question, this is the answer, and they pass to everybody, so the rest of the class don't need to do the assignment. So this is how it is being done now, okay? But the aim is actually to elevate the knowledge sharing process, all right, among students so that you will benefit. So nowadays, right, when students are given assignments, all right, and they say we don't have time, right, because we are not able to physically meet, right, gone were those excuses, right? Now lecturers would say there is many platforms for you to discuss, okay? So interactions also facilitates your peer interest. You want to know more about real life, all right? You want, there is some studies that actually a group of students or a group of youth actually wanting to know what happens after life. So they look at these sites to know more about real life. Okay, just like you do not know how much it costs to actually buy your clothes and so on. So from here, you are able to do. So most importantly, what your friends have, you also want to have. So you feel more connected. So when you meet, you're all wearing the same thing, for example. Okay? So you tend to be connected to your friends. You tend to read positive experience. You want positive self-disclosures, right? So the boundaries between private and public is already diminishing. I'll give you an example where, you know, you put in there a picture of you having lunch at where? Subway, right? Then you say, eat healthy, come to Subway, right? And you will get some positive responses. Those who like Subways, those who don't like then would say, you know, that's not for us, okay? So basically, when we want to maintain a relationship, although it's public, right, but we like the ones to whom we have disclosed, but we do not necessarily like the ones who disclose intimate content to us, right? However, we do like the ones who share positive news and makes us laugh, right? So the like here is something which is very important. So you are in the public sphere. If you don't like what somebody is sending to you, you just ignore, yes? So the second one that I'm going to look at is in terms of civic engagement. Now, one of the reasons why we move on to civic engagement is that it is a powerful tool, right, for town planning, for political activism, and so on. So I give you an example here, right, whereby it has been used to address politics and government for better reach and relevancies in India. President Obama has used it during his last election campaign. So there are a lot of issues or a lot of usage in terms of political. This is for civic engagement because this is allowing the public to participate in the running of the countries, for example, although you may beg to differ with me. So it allows us, if you recall, the Bersih rally a few years back, now it started with one message, right? And how it managed to actually spread, and it was thousands of people there, okay? One another example is this, the fall or the problems that actually happened in Egypt, all right, was actually originally a message in SNS. Okay, the impact, right, there are many, school of thoughts or many findings. Some found positive, it actually affects job performance. So if you use, you're able to get more clients. So it actually affects the company positively. However, there are also people saying that it does not affect, right? So here, they are saying that because the workers are actually using the media, right? So it reduces their productivity because they are spending more of their time doing chatting and so on, which may not be related to their jobs at all. Some general impact. I'm not sure whether you are aware of what self-disclosure activities is. Something like this. It's something good so that you are able to stay in touch as well as connected, but there are some negative connotations. Now, give you an example. Okay, let's say I posted a picture, all right? If it's with good intentions, but someone who views it may be envious and start comparing themselves. So let's say you put down there you went for holidays. So what it may cause is that I have not gone for holidays for so long. I'll be very frustrated and I start asking, how can she go for holiday and I can't go for holiday? Mental suffering, this is we bringing it out to ourselves. Oh, he has money, I don't have money. All right? Even depression, all right? Because you want to be at par with your peers, so why they can do it and we cannot do it? So these may actually, in the long run, damage the user's well-being or even impact their life satisfaction. Now, self-disclosures also allows possibility for impression management. I first learned the word impression management through Dr. Shamila. I was thinking, what is impression management? So it's just like we as users, sometimes we overemphasize our achievement. So we put our profile there, okay, we are graduate of University Malaya, earning 6,000 a month, all right? So we have one big bungalow and so on and so forth. So actually it is, the reason why it's being done is so that you'll be socially accepted, right? But you are creating a new virtual, a new life in the virtual world, all right? And these may actually lead to negative consequences. Now, let us take an example. Normally, when you set up your profile, I do not know about you, but most of us, half of the profile is true. Another half, we make up. Okay? So that makeup is actually impression management. We are trying to impress people to be impressed with us so that people will accept us as their friend. Okay? But there are also studies that found no relationship, right? So to me, the results indicate that there is mixed reactions. It actually boils down to our acceptance, how we accept the posting of those pictures. And what is our aim? Sometimes, I think you have heard, all right, the artists, Malaysian artists put there the pictures, then they say, oh, it is to share with their fans, it's not to show off. But when we see it as if they're showing off. All right? So, SNN usage actually impact physical well-being, all right, because as I said, we can get ample information or overload of information on how to keep ourselves healthy, how to keep a more balanced life, right? How to eat well. I think in many sites, right? Eat green apple, eat berries. It will reduce your cholesterol. It would slow down the cancerous cells and so on, right? But again, excessive use may actually lead to unhealthy lifestyle, right? There have been instances when people are too engrossed, and what happens is that they actually ignore their physical needs, such as eating and sleeping. Now, 2 or 3 years ago, there were a couple of stories from Korea why this guy was sitting 72 hours straight at on Facebook. Right? He didn't eat, he didn't go to toilet, he just literally sat there, and in the end he had a heart attack. Okay? So those are basically in a way that is bad for your health. Okay? I actually focus also on impact on students. So there are 3 main impacts in terms of your academic performance, your socialization behavior, as well as satisfaction with university life. Now, in terms of academic performance, some says the more you use, the lower your academic performance. You agree? Right? But some says the higher the usage, the better the academic performance. Some says this. We actually use SNN for actually our work, our studies. So the higher we use, so our grades went up, right? So maybe this is something that we can do further research on. Now, it can generally be said that if it is used for learning purpose, your academic performance would be better. Okay, in terms of socialization behavior, youth likes to socialize, youth likes to be socially accepted, and also in terms of acculturations. So basically, we want to be accepted, so we see our friends are all online, so we also go online. We want also to see whether being online have any changes on your attitudes and behavior. Okay, so it has been shown that the higher you use, right, the more likely you will be regarded highly by your peers. Satisfaction with university life. All right, we say, all right, there's some literatures that actually says, if you use, you will eventually lead to higher satisfaction with your university lives. So you tend to use it as your means of communication with your colleagues, all right, and as well as lecturers and instructors. There are some lecturers who actually use the media for assignments, for information, right? So what we're saying is that it allows participation in class and also can get notes from them also, okay? So availability and the accessibility, because you want everything to be given to you at your labs, so you will tend to be contented. And you'll be happy with the lecture, you'll be happy with the course, because everything is available at your fingertips. You will also be, in terms of, you can use it to discover employment opportunities. So also you would be looking for more desirable job fit. All right, this is one of the reasons from my observations is that graduates do not work immediately after they graduate because they are looking for opportunities. And the social media actually shows them there are a lot of opportunities. You can become this, you become that, and you can get this amount of salaries. So as graduates, you tend to wait for the best fit, okay? So there are changes in our lifestyles. Again, we do not depend on newspapers, traditional communication. We do not need to depend on our, what you call, unit, right, to look for work for us. We can all find by ourselves. Okay, the next one is in terms of organization. So basically, SNS would be good, right, for organizations. And the reasons being, the three top reasons are actually compatibility, cost effectiveness, as well as interactivity. Now, organization that has internet connection, has broadband, right, can immediately use social media such as Facebook because it's compatible, it's cheaper, right, and it can be fully used immediately. So you can actually do a lot of functions such as selling, advertising, and marketing at a lower cost. So you can promote your brands. You can use Facebook, the functions such as sharing, tagging, messaging, commenting, notifying functions. I realize that youth a lot likes to use tagging. You tag along. And if you look at, there have been research that look at trying to find whether the tagging, how many layers does it go, and what is the effect of the taggings. So basically, businesses can use it without any additional cost. Okay, the interactivities of the technology provides or gives us more room for us to actually interact with customers, with other stakeholders. Okay, more and more people are actually buying online, right? This is evident from the increase in online sales. And in Malaysia, the top 5 Malaysian socially devoted brand on Facebook are, 3 of them are banks, 2 of them are banks, which is Maybank, CIMB. 2 are actually telcos, Maxis and Hotlink, and famous Zalora. I don't know how many of you have ever bought from Zalora. Their products are quite big range. Okay, this is the impact. Basically, it helps in terms of customer-oriented processes. It impacts the sales. It also, sales may be increased. Also, at the end of the day, there are positive impact on the financial performance as well as non-financial performance. Financial performance like sales volume has gone up, but what can actually be seen clearly is sales inquiries. It may not lead to purchase, but inquiries have increased. Number of customers or number of reviews or views have increased. Okay, in terms of non-financial, it may lead to customer satisfaction, for example. Okay, this is my last few slides. So how do we actually say that is innovating our lifestyles? I don't know how to cook, but I want to make lemon puff for my family, because when they buy, it's hard. So what do? I go to YouTube and I look step by step how to do it, right? Last time we used to look for recipes, hard copies, sometimes we can't find. This one gives us plenty of options, so it's up to us. You want the American one, the British one, and so on. Students, this is SPSS. Now you will tell me, so Prof, you don't need to go to class and attend your SPSS anymore. It is all on YouTube, step by step, line by line. Okay? Next, those wearing tudongs, nilofa, right? Teaches you how to use tudongs, various styles. I know only one style, I just put on, right? This one is scarves, and she teaches you how to do it. Okay? So I've seen my own children looking at the YouTube before going out, so looking at it half an hour, how to tie their scarves. In the end, it's still the same. Right? Another one for me, this is what I received, right, from LinkedIn. All right, so they're offering me jobs as research analysts, faculty members, okay, data processors, SPSS, right? So I do not need to look for advertisement. This is the push technology. This comes to me. So if I'm interested, I can go in, all right? Now, do you see anything familiar here? Look at the first one. You are eating. This is a normal occurrence in any eating place. So much so, some families, like mine, no phones on tables when food is. So my children put this, when food is served. Before food is served, you still can, okay? This one, this is reality. This guy looks at Facebook, Instagram, and all sorts. So he's doing 3, 4. How many of you have more than one gadget? Okay? This one, this is our family time. All right? But the TV is there, but no one except the mother is looking at the TV. Okay? This is the one, this is a picture where the poor mother and father bringing all the families, they don't even realize she has the food there. All right? So this is how our life has changed. You see anything familiar? I get very upset if I'm doing this. All right? There's 2 laptops on the bed. Okay? This one, this is reality. How many of you students do this? All right? Before you sleep, you check your Facebook first. When you get up, you check your Facebook first, right? Or your Instagram, right? This is schools where now most of it is using social network sites. Even here, right? So from this picture, it's not only youth who are using Facebook, the social network sites, but also we older generations. Okay? We have learned to adapt. Thank you. Before I actually end, I would just like to take this opportunity to express my appreciation to everyone who have assisted me in any way during my career. First and foremost, I think my sincere appreciation to Dr. Sia Mei Ling, right? Many of you may not know her. She was the, what's the word? Right, the person in the old days when Datuk Mansur is making faces. When I started my career, she challenged me every single step. Okay, my first PhD student was not a business student, was not even an economic student. She was doing gender studies, and she was actually assigned to me, and Sia Mei Ling said this: I challenge you to make sure she graduated. Okay, so that was so I had a lot of, at that time it was bitter, but I think towards the end she is one of the character that made me be able to stand here. And Dato Mansur, Prof. Matno, their guidance as Dean. My mentors are actually Dato Noma Mansur, Prof. Hamza, and Dato Jamil. And of course, to Tan Sri Rafia. This, to my PhD students, thank you for being part of my academic journey. To my MBA, MM students, I see To there, all right, whom I had the privilege to supervise. Thank you for making me part of your academic journey. Prof. Wan, thank you for giving me to lead the Social Network Dynamics program under you, all right, which allowed me to do the compilation. To the faculties management, to members of the Operation and MIS department, especially Dr. Park. To my co-authors, co-researchers, thank you very much. I may not have put some more pictures here because I couldn't find, right? So I had more female co-authors than male co-authors. I'm sure you recognize all of them except the last two at the bottom. She's from Aston University, and Shaheen was my postdoc, who is now in one of the Iranian universities. For those who I have not put in your pictures, I'm very sorry, I couldn't find them on the social network. Okay. So to my sisters, Siti and Rohana Jani, for always being there, for my moral support. My appreciation to the administrative staff in the present and the past, all right, for making my life at more pleasant. Finally, to my husband, I didn't allow him to come. To my husband and girls who were there at all times. I can pack them to a hotel, they can sit in the hotel and enjoy themselves, and I'm at the desk. So they have been very supportive for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Ainin Sulaiman. Distinguished guests, I would like to call upon Professor Dr. Nosada Abdul Rahman to conclude the lecture which has been delivered by Professor Dr. Ainin Sulaiman a moment ago. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Prof. Ainin, for such a delightful talk. In accordance with the tradition of inaugural lecture, we do not allow any question and answer. You may question her later outside at tea, perhaps, but I just would like to summarize what her lecture was about. She was talking about social network sites or social network that is actually very, very popular now. Everybody knows it from, the maybe kids who are 2 years old who are probably better at it than us. And actually she addresses the two main issues related to social network from two different angles. the organizational perspective and the individual perspective, and also look at the impact of social network sites and how it impacts our lifestyle now and perhaps in the future. I always in my mind keep telling myself that it would be nice if there would be a standstill move from technology for a while so that we can all catch up, but I don't think this is going to be possible. And Prof. Ainin actually showed to us that this is the way of life now. So I guess we better back up, yeah, Prof. So anyway, I will not take much longer of your time. Thank you, Prof. Ainin, and this has been a very nice lecture for me, and I hope you all enjoy it too. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Nur Saada Abdul Rahman, for chairing this lecture. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the management of the Faculty of Business and Accountancy, International Corporate Relations Office, citizens of UC Malaya, as well as all the guests here for your time. With this, we have reached the end of the lecture. On behalf of the UC Malaya, I would like to apologize if there had been any weaknesses from our side in organizing this lecture. I think that's all. Thank you very much. And the refreshment will be served at the foyer of the Faculty of Business and Accountancy. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you and have a pleasant afternoon. Thank you.